Hey, hey, hey! It's KrepsyK, and today we are making baked chicken Parmesan. You know where it's at. We're probably going to serve it over pasta. We're not going to use any special pasta. We're not going to use any special pasta sauce. You can do that at home. You can do that however you want to make it. One of these days, I'll make my own pasta sauce on the channel, but that day is not today. Instead, we're going to focus on the chicken Parmesan. So, we've got pancetta, that's for later. Parmesan cheese, of course you're going to need it. Italian breadcrumbs, or you could use panko breadcrumbs. Oregano, parsley, basil, salt, garlic powder, not garlic salt. You can use whatever you want though. And ground black pepper. This time, normally we'd use garlic salt. It's one of my go-tos. Sorry, garlic salt for this, or cracked pepper. But we're going with the ground pepper so I can scoop it with the little thing. First, you want to start with, boom, a cup, a good cup. Oh, this is harder than I thought it would be. Whoa. It's okay if it's a little over, right? Bam. A cup of Parmesan cheese and a cup of breadcrumbs, which is going to give you, yep, that's right, folks, 2 cups of mixture. Alright, next we're going to get our great big old tablespoon. I know it looks like a lot, but again, we're getting 2 cups of mixture here. We're going to use blam. Doesn't have to be heaping, just, maybe even a little less if you want to go light. But we're going to go 1 tablespoon of oregano. Bam! Just like that. Next, we're going to use the next size down and use a teaspoon. Next, we're going to use the teaspoon for your parsley. This bad boy open. Ooh. Boop. Alright. There's the parsley. And last, you're going to use, if you want heavy basil, you can go teaspoon. If you want a little light on the basil, you can go half a teaspoon. We're going to go half. Don't want the basil to be overpowering because basil is pretty strong. Bam, just like that. Okay. And we are also going to use the small size here, the half teaspoon, for the garlic powder. Heaping's fine. Looks good to me. I like garlic. And when we make our garlic butter for our garlic bread, it's going to be like a little bit of butter and mostly garlic because, well, like I said. And lastly, the black pepper. You can go light on black pepper. Again, like your salt, pepper, all that's seasoned to taste. That's all up to you. If your ratios are a little different, same thing with the salt. I'm going to be careful with the salt because I might even go a little light because Parmesan cheese is a salty flavor. Get a lot of good salt from the Parmesan cheese. So we're going to go ahead, mix this bad boy up, and get to our chicken breasts. Alright. Should always try and use fresh chicken breast. We have one here that is frozen. That's what we had. Sorry, folks. What you want to do is you're going to act like you're going to butterfly, and I know I'm doing this wrong. I just don't have the space, and I'm doing this unsafely. By the way, this is like the most unsafe way to cut a chicken breast. I'm just letting you know you should not cut chicken breasts like this, and I'm being serious. However, this is what I have because I want to show you what you are going to do after you have split your chicken breast. Try not to cut into my pan here. Also, this is a frozen chicken breast, which is why it looks like the knife is dull. The knife is actually extremely sharp and is cutting through not quite thawed frozen chicken breast here. Here we go. And finally, final cut here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we have our cut in half chicken breast. Now, you can choose, I'm only going to use this one as an example. You can choose to bag them and mash them down. I don't think it makes much of a difference, but you can do that. You're going to go ahead, get it in your dredge. Make sure you get it, in there. I like to give it a little press, not just toss it in there. I really want it to sit. I want it to stick to my chicken. I want to get a good crust on my chicken, particularly if you're baking it and not frying it. If you're frying it, you can kind of get a little crispier, because you're cooking it in oil. But if you want to be healthy, or healthier, I suppose, you can attempt to get it baked. There we go. That's good. That's a good crust. And what we're going to do is we're going to do that for each one, and then I'll give you all the baking times and all of that stuff in just a moment. All right. Now, most people will dredge their chicken in an egg. Well, first, they'll mash it down and then dredge it in egg and then put it in or bathe it in egg and then put it in the dredge. This is correct. Most people do this. I did it this way because I didn't want to mash it down, do all that. And the chicken breast was actually kind of damp already. And I pressed it down with my hands into the dredge. So I did get the mashing motion. I just didn't use a hammer. But yes, traditionally, you will mash it down, bathe it in egg, put it in the dredge, and then go ahead and bake it. Now, we will be baking these at 425 for about 15 minutes. And then we will turn them to make sure the other side also gets crispy. And that's anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes. Same temperature. You will want that crispy. Then we will pull it. We will put marinara and mozzarella and broil it, 2 to 3 minutes, just enough to get that crust on there. Right now, I've got some pasta on the stove and some pancetta getting all warmed up. When these come out of the oven, I'll dress it up in front of you, put it back in the oven for the broil, and then we'll do all the toppings and do all that, get it plated, and check it out. Alright, these are the last steps, really. I tried to make some garlic bread, but the bread that I bought for this a couple of days ago went bad before we could do it. So I have some pre-bought bread. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and speed all of this up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put down the sauce and mozzarella. I already flipped them, so that's all good. So we're just going to get these in the oven to broil, get that good top crust on there, and then we'll plate and talk about a couple of things. Alright, we have our pasta. We've got our Parmesan chicken. We have the, not prosciutto, but pancetta, that's it, here. If you don't want to spend $3 on this much, what's effectively bacon, you could, cheap out and get some bacon if you already have bacon. Look, go with pancetta if you have pancetta. It's $3 if you want to splurge. So let's get the great big pretty one here. I cut these a little thick, so they took a little bit longer than normal here. So you've got that bad boy sitting right up there. Oh, I dented it. And then you hit it with a couple of little pieces. Pancetta, if you really wanted to make it pop, little salt packets there on the top, and then hit it with some, you should use fresh parsley, but as I've stated many times on the channel before, I always forget to pick up my fresh herbs. Don't ask me why I don't have my own herb garden. I couldn't tell you. Yes, these came out fine. Yes, you should hammer them, mash them, and dredge them proper. I didn't have that, so I worked with what I had, and this is what I ended up with. Not too bad. Can't wait to give it a taste. I know the flavors are on point, but presentation means a lot. Anyway, I want to thank you all for stopping by. You all have a great day. This was KrepsyK, and I'm getting out of here.